Do I have the movie for you? You know. Have you ever had that childhood movie? Like that one movie from your childhood where you're like, wow, that's the one I remember. That's the one that like made your entire childhood. That was you. Like that was just can't explain it really. Out of all your childhood movies, you're gonna have to pick one as your favorite. Like it's not Iron Man, even though that's you call it your favorite movie now. Out of your entire childhood roster, including like the ones that like no one knows about, you know where I'm going with this. You saw the title of the video. My childhood favorite movie was The Last Unicorn, and I rewatched it recently, and I regret that decision. I'm gonna give you like a rundown of what The Last Unicorn is. Oh my god. I don't think I'm laughing to stall. It's a movie. Alright, so basically it starts out the movie starts out with like a right two hunters and like they're in the woods and one of the writers goes, "Hey, do you think unicorns exist?" And the other guy is like, "What? Of course. Why do you think it's never winter here?" Or the animals never get killed but somehow still survive the predators. And the other guy's like, "So you're saying unicorns exist?" And he's like, "Yes, the unicorns are what make this forest. But this is like the last forest, which means like this is whoa. This is the last unicorn." And off the distance, the unicorn, the main unicorn of the movie, is like, "What? I'm the last unicorn?" And like she gets super sad and she like thinks about it for a second. She's like, "I'm gonna go find the others." And she leaves the forest. I, she's a horse. She doesn't do this motion. She's just like running, and she looks back and like all the animals are like waiting for her. They're all like, "Well, we'll be here for you." And the last unicorn is like, "Well, I'll be back very quickly." And then immediately begins a montage of how long it takes. It's the funniest shit ever. Um. So yeah, she takes super long, and she runs into this farmer dude. He's like, "Oh, a horse," because for some reason humans on this world don't see unicorns; they just see normal horses. So the farmer's like, "Oh, look, it's a horse." Well, pulls his belt out. "That's gonna be fine for the fair." And she's like, "A mare, a mare." That was an actual line. And so she trips him with magic and then runs along, falls asleep somewhere else, where a witch called Mommy Fortuna is like, she's thinking to herself, "Oh, it's a unicorn. But hold on, I'm a witch in magic. My cohorts may not know if it is or not." So she asks the Igor type guy, "Hey, is that like a unicorn?" And he goes, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. She goes, "Oh my god, is that what do you see?" And then he goes, "Just a white horse." And then she has a wizard with her, like novice wizard. His name is Schmendrick. And she asks Schmendrick, "What do you see?" And he's a wizard, so he sees the unicorn horn, but he's like, "Just a horse." And the witch is like, "Yeah, is that so?" And like steals the horse, like puts a fake horn on the unicorn so that regular people will see it using magic and illusory. And she's like, "Well, what a lucky day for me. I got a unicorn." And then we flash forward to like the next morning, right? And like it's showing all these fantastical creatures like Manticore, Monkey Monster. I'll talk about that one later. And the unicorn. So like they run like this fair kind of. It's literally the size of a cul-de-sac, and each where a house would be is like giant crate holding the animals. And at night, Schmendrick walks up to the unicorn and is like, "Hey, what are you seeing all these animals?" And the last unicorn is like, she looks at like the manticore and turns out to be like an old toothless lion. Tricks the monkey monster, and it's like an old monkey with a twisted ankle. And Schmendrick's like, "Yeah, what about that one?" And then he looks to the thing. When I was little, I'm watching this movie. But my Hey there, this is me in post. The audio cut out here, so let me tell you. The vulture had 3 tits. Vulture. Forgot the name. Has dog ears and 3 tits. So basically, this 3-titted harpy eagle or whatever it is, 3-titted vulture. Schmendrick's like, "Oh yeah, we caught that last night too, just by pure luck." By the way, Schmendrick is gonna be your most favorite character in this entire movie. He's got all the best like lines, but we'll get to that later. And so he's like, "So yeah, I'm gonna try and let you out of this now. I told that Igor little bitch a riddle. It's gonna take him all night." And the unicorn's like, "Well, work some magic, please." And he's like, "All right." It's like he's a wizard, not an illusionist like the witch. And so like he tries something, it fails. He tries another thing, and the crate just shrinks instead. And then he says, "Sorry, you need the help of a full wizard, but I'm afraid you'll need the help of a class 2 pickpocket." And he pulls out the keys he pickpocketed from the guy he told the riddle to. Why didn't he do that first? Why didn't he just do the keys? I mean, I get it. Like, he has, like, this is an arc he has where he cares about his magic so much because he's, like, the last in this long line of wizards. And so he tries to magic the way out of the cage, which doesn't work, so he just pickpockets the cage. And the last unicorn sets all the others free, with her horn. By the way, the second horn, she got rid of that. I don't know. Like, that went away when he unlocked the crate. So the second horn went away. She has her real horn now. And so she unlocks the rest of the people out. And then she goes to the 3-titted vulture. I'm not going to call it anything else. It is now the 3-titted vulture. And so she walks up to this dude. And Schmendrick, he's like, "Don't do that. It will kill you." And the last unicorn's like, "But I'm gonna do it anyway. Don't tell me what to do, bitch." And so she puts her horn in the lock, lets the harpy shit out, and starts flying all over the place. 3 breasts and all. Oh, I feel like I should go back. The witch Mama Fortuna talks with the unicorn early on. And the unicorn's like, "That thing is going to kill you." And Mommy Fortuna is like, "Well, yes, obviously, but it is immortal. And so when it kills me, it will remember that I captured it. That is my immortality." So, yeah, she's just proud she caught one. She can die peacefully now that she caught that thing. And so, I can't laugh. I can't laugh anymore. I'm stalling. Basically. So, the last unicorn lets the eagle out. Just flying all over the place. It starts attacking the unicorn. But, long-ass sharp horn. The unicorn just has to, like, look in that direction. And the harpy is like, "Whoa, don't want to get impaled. Whoa, don't want to get impaled. Whoa, don't want to get impaled." And then the witch comes out like, "Yes! It took you, the help of others, to escape me!" And then the vulture looks down and is like,
"Oh, that bitch."
And kills her violently. Like, it swoops down and mauls her. So yeah, that happened. And then Schmendrick and the unicorn are like, "Holy shit, we gotta go." Well, That's Schmendrick. The unicorn is always calm. The unicorn, we'll touch on this later, but unicorns, for some reason, don't feel the same as humans. Obviously, it's a unicorn. It's like a horse brain, smooth brain. They don't feel regret or sadness. They walk for like a while until, they hear outlaws down the road. And the outlaws, they see, so Schmendrick and the last unicorn hide, but Schmendrick hides horribly, and the outlaws, criminals, grab him, put him on a horse, and ride into their base camp. And so, yeah, we skip to that part because nothing interesting happens. And so we skip to that part, and the unicorn stalks them and watches from afar. Schmendrick is like, yo, what? And there's the king. I'm gonna call him the king. He's like the leader. I'm gonna call him leader instead. The leader of the outlaws. He's like, hi, my own name escapes me. Welcome. And Schmendrick's like, yeah, but could you like not have stolen me though? Like, seriously. And yeah, I was like, whoops, sorry, that wasn't my... Anyway, want to stay for dinner? They eat rat soup. And the leader goes, put some more water in the rat soup. We'll need an extra bowl. And his wife, who's like super sick of his shit, I'm pretty sure the wife isn't even the wife. Just... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the wife has like been hardened by the world. No love in her heart. And so she's like, I don't want to make more soup. And they're like, do it, we have a guest over. And she's like, fine, wait a second. And, no. She's like, fine. And then, so, like, she goes inside to make the soup or some shit. Why am I on the soup? The soup is, like, no importance right now. And so, Schmendrick, the leader asks Schmendrick to tell stories of him. Not Schmendrick. The outlaw leader asks Schmendrick to tell stories of the outlaw leader. It's weird. And then another guy asks, hey, why can't we listen to a story of Robin Hood? And the leader gets all offended. He's like, Robin Hood doesn't exist! And everyone else is like, whoa, whoa, chillax, man. But, so, and then the wife's like, oh yes, Robin Hood, please, I would love to see Robin Hood. And then the wizard's like, fine, magic, do as you will. He's like faking it, like he's trying his best. So at this point, he'll try magic, do as you will. And that works. Like, that is such a powerful spell. It summons illusions of like Robin Hood and Marinette and shit. And all the king's men and horses and shit follow behind. As everyone but the outlaw and the guy that captured him stay behind. Everyone else, including the wife, chases after the illusions. And the outlaw and his sidekick, outlaw leader and his sidekick are like, hey, buddy, you gotta leave. They're like, hey, yo, buddy, I'm not gonna let you do that again. And so they hook him up to this tree with two bulbous... They're not breasts yet, but they do look like them. They hook him up, they tie him around the tree, and Trisha's like, holy shit, I did magic! I could not give a shit! And then he tries to magic his way out of the tree, but by accident turns the tree alive, and that is a very uncomfortable scene I'm going to skip over because it's traumatizing. And basically the tree tries to rape him, and then he has to be like, whoa, get out! And the unicorn has to save him, and they run away from the horny-ass tree with big-ass tits, and so it's fun. Anyway, so then they run into the wife, and the wife starts crying because her heart is, like, cold. It's hardened, right? And she's like, breaks down. She's like, a unicorn! There's a unicorn after all this time! Why do you appear to me now when I am this? And so she decides to join on the adventure because she loves the unicorn. Or something. And so Schmendrick's like, we don't, no. no, 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 no. We're not taking you. We're going to. Oh. So I skipped over a major plot point, and I am sorry. But earlier, way earlier, at the first people in the movie, they're talking about the Red Bull chasing down the unicorns, and then King Haggard, or some shit. Those are linked together. I can't believe I forgot. Like, those are the main villain. I'm so sorry. And so they Schmendrick's like, "Hey, yo, lady, why'd I do that? Why'd I give him that voice? He sounds whatever. I'm gonna keep it. Hey, lady, we're trying to get to King Haggard's castle." And then the lady's like, "Well, I don't care. I'm coming with you. Also, you're going the wrong way, dipshit." And so it cuts to them on the walk, and the wife, I forgot her name, she's like, "Oh yeah, I am. You really were going the wrong way. Sorry." And he's like, "Whatever." And then while they see the castle, they're there. They're almost like it's within, like, if you put your thumb up to it, and they brought it in like that far. Anyway, so then all of a sudden a huge red light comes from the castle, because the last unicorn, and the Red Bull sees the last unicorn, and they're all like, "Oh shit." And so the Red Bull starts like chasing after the unicorn, and the ex-wife now, she obviously split up with the guy. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm done with that. The Red Bull starts chasing after the last unicorn, and she's like, "Save her, you're a wizard, save her!" And Smedrick is like, "I don't know, magic, do as you please." And it worked again. It did something astronomical, which was change the last unicorn into a human and rid the world of unicorns. So yeah, the bull, after seeing her, is like, "Oh, there's no unicorn here," after seeing the unicorn change into a human. The bull's like, "Oh, there's no unicorn here, bye," and he just fucks off back in the castle. And then you get a great ass shot of the last unicorn. Grade A, my own opinion, but she wakes up and she's like, "What have you done to me? I'm meant to be a unicorn!" And Spencer's like, "Oh yeah, sorry. It wasn't my fault, it was Magic's fault." That was the best possible. I mean, it was, actually, if you think about it, it was a smart move. Because now she can just march right into the castle without, But anyway, so yeah, the wife was like, "Holy shit! Not that! She's not a unicorn anymore!" And so, yeah, the last unicorn and the ex-wife are crying. Well, hold on, let me look that up. The wife and the last unicorn. Mia! Oh, no. Who is Lady Amel? Alright, the last unicorn. Cast. Alright, Mia Farrow. Tammy is her name. Her name is Tammy. And so, yeah, Tammy and the last unicorn are crying. They're like, "Ah!" And Schmidt's like, overreacting. And so the next morning, when, they've recollected themselves, they march right into the castle and shit. This part's really boring and was hard to get through. So basically, they march right into the castle. The only two people who are there are King Haggard and his son, Prince Lear. Prince Lear is played by Jeff Bridges, and King Haggard is played by Christopher Lee. Ah! Rest in peace, for he played King Haggard. In The Last Unicorn, in the same movie with that 3-breasted vulture. And so, yeah, they all come here. Basically, the gist of what happens is the prince falls in love with the last unicorn, and Schmendrick is like, "Hey, yeah, so I can be your magician thing." And you know, keep your attention on the fact that this lady is a unicorn, because they find out later that the last unicorn, that King Haggard ordered the bull and shit to like keep all the unicorns in the sea, just shove them down there, and then they watch the sea because like he's depressed and shit. Nothing makes him happy. But looking at unicorns, and he decided, why not torture those unicorns and make me even happier? So he's fucked. Prince Lear, time and time again, tries to pronounce his love for Amalthea. They call her Amalthea now because she's a human. They had to give her a name. They called her Amalthea, Lady Amalthea. It's a beautiful name. She's a beautiful lady. But still. And then we discover that because Amalthea has been turned into a human, she's also been getting extreme memory problems. She can't remember why they're there in the first place. And then Tammy is like, we came here to save the other unicorns. And Amalthea's like, oh shit. And then she sings a song about what, by the way, this movie's a musical. It's not that important, all the songs suck. But then Lady Amalthea sings about how it is to be a woman. And she forgets what it's like to be a unicorn. She just forgets that she was a unicorn. She only knows that because she was told that. And she believes it because she doesn't remember a fucking thing. So she's basically reduced to a baby. And Prince Lear is still like, I want to pronounce, confess his love. And so, yada, 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 but shit happens, by the way. Oh, this skeleton... I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, yeah, so basically nothing important happens. And then Schmendrick brings Tammy and Amalthea to the skeleton dude that can tell them where the last unicorns are. And basically, the skeleton dude, believe it or not, is a skeleton. He's like, well, I'll tell you a joke if you... He has like that skeleton voice. He's like that annoying skeleton. Skeletons have a stereotype now, and I love it. He has that skeleton thing, and so he's annoying and obnoxious as fuck. And Schmendrick's like, all right, fine, wine. Like, and he says something involving wine, and then the skeleton's like, run that by me again, wine. And then Schmendrick's like, yeah, hey, oh yeah, you want wine, Tammy? Did you get any wine? And she was like, yeah, I got water. Can you change it into wine? And Skeleton's like, I'll tell you if you give me some wine. I need that shit, bro. And Schmendrick's like, all right, give me the water bottle. And so he like goes far away from the skeleton and drinks the water. And Skeleton's like, hey, buddy, I can't see, because the skeleton's like lodged into the wall in a concrete place, so he can't see, which is smart as fuck. And so, Schmendrick's like, hey, what, can't you taste, like, you can't taste wine or smell it anymore. He's like, but I remember. And Schmendrick's like, and he gives him the empty bottle, pretending he turned it into wine. And this guy's like, yes. And he's like, biting on this empty glass bottle, which is the most satisfying memory of my entire childhood. I have no idea why. Just this 2D skeleton gnawing on a glass bottle. It's just beautiful. As if he gets drunk somehow. And then he's like, just walk into the clock, just do it, just no. And Schmendrick, Tammy, and Amalthea are like, aight. And they begin to walk off, and the skeleton, like, his high wears off, and he's like, that's a unicorn! And then the calls King Haggard down, and Haggard's like, unicorn, I knew it! And he begins, like, running for Lady Amalthea. And they're all running to the clock. For some reason, Prince Lear is there. I don't know how or why. I don't remember that happening, but I guess he's there. Apparently, he followed them. And then King Haggard traps them with the bull. The Red Bull. That's the Red Bull's lair. And then Amalthea, having no memory of being a unicorn and only remembers her time with Prince Lear now, has also there's a scene I glossed over because it was stupid, where she just makes out with Prince Lear because she's a girl and he's a boy, basically, and falls in love with him. And then in the tunnel, they find out that Amalthea doesn't want to be turned into a unicorn. She wants to stay as a human, like she always was. And then Tammy now is like, well, you can let her be with her true love. And Schmendrick is like, she's a unicorn. The prince falls in love with a unicorn, and he knows that. He's told that, and he says, "I love who I love." And they're like, "She's a unicorn," and he looks in her eyes and goes, "I love who I love." Okay. So they find the Red Bull, and there's no running now. Like, they get to a beach, the Red Bull is like, "Hey, I'm going to fucking demolish your ass." And then Lady Amalthea is like, "Oh no!" And then like she begins like running away in her meek little human body. And Switcher's like, "Ha ha!" And turns her back into a unicorn, so she runs away faster. And then Tammy and Prince are like, "Dude, kill the bull!" And he's like, and Schmendrick is like, "Magic cannot kill this bull. That's what heroes are for." And then Prince Lear goes, "That's right. That's what heroes are for." And it like runs into the bull and gets killed. And then Lady Amalthea going, "No, my love!" As a unicorn, you know, fights against the bull. And we get this very fantastically animated scene of all the unicorns like coming in from the ocean. As all like the unicorns coming into the ocean, like kill and chase the bull away, and then they all run away, and the castle begins to crumble with King Haggard in it. And he's like, "I knew you were the last unicorn. I knew." So he dies. Prince Lear wakes up. He's like, "I had that dream again. Wait, no, I was dead." And then Amalthea, she's like, "I remember you all." And then we get this nice scene at the end of the movie where Schmendrick, he's like, and Schmendrick, obviously he ended up with Tammy, and Schmendrick and Tammy, are now living together in the forest with sleeping bags, no house. And then the last unicorn meets Schmendrick for the last time to thank him, and he goes, "No, please, and she's, and then Amalthea is like, "So, I am no longer a full unicorn anymore, because I can now feel regret." And then, major guilt trip, because Schmendrick didn't want to do that. Schmendrick changed this unicorn to, by the way, unicorns are immortal. And she's going to stay immortal because that's a sad end to the movie. Schmendrick's fault, she's not immortal anymore. Why couldn't Schmendrick use his magic to turn Lear into a unicorn? That would have been fucking badass. I want to be Prince Lear as a unicorn, so we could end up with Amalthea. That's awesome. Anyway, so Schmendrick's like, "Yeah, I messed up big time." And she's like, "No, being human now is the best thing that ever happened to me." Like, she is a unicorn form, but she now is like the brain of a human. She's like, "Being human is the best thing that ever happened to me." And then she rides off into the sunset as another awful musical starts playing. Basically, watch this movie. By the way, a couple nitpicks. One, you show us the leaking from the boobs, the booba of a ginormous, disgusting vulture with dog ears. But your ears to show us Lady Amalthea's full ass when she transforms human. She has an aerial scene, like she gets up and trying to adapt to her new body. She's like, "Whoa, what?" And she's like open, but her hair's covering her body, which is stupid. I'm personally offended that we didn't get to see Lady Amalthea's tits. But whatever. I guess. I got a nice ass shot. Honestly, DreamWorks, can you like reboot this movie? Turn Aurora into a lesbian because Aurora. Turn Amalthea into a lesbian and completely throw away any Prince Lear ex Lady Amalthea shit because that was the most unneeded thing in the history of movies. That was so forced. Make her a lesbian. Like, none of that Prince Lear shit. Yeah, I want to see an updated version of this movie so bad. If you can redo Voltron and She-Ra, you can redo The Last Unicorn and make it fantastic. Dude, if they made The Last Unicorn a show in the style of She-Ra, the Princesses of Power, or Voltron, I would want to be there for it. I would like to help work on it, please. Can I work on some of the animation? I would love to. So yeah, that's The Last Unicorn. This video is much more different than most of my other videos. It's weird, I know. But I felt I had to do this to explain my love and hate of this movie. Alright, the Rye are phasing out.